I'm currently trying to conceive. I'm currently trying to convince. Totally different thing.
I was like,
Blayleys.
Bloke-a-cola. I've got far more in my locker than that.
Exactly.
You know, I just dumb them down for her.
Such a twat. Hello and welcome to the Therapy Crouch with me, Abbey Clancy.
Me, Peter Crouch.
Put your phone away.
I'm actually working. I am actually working.
Working on what?
Well, at the moment, I'm on the Peter Crouch podcast notes that I put in. So I wasn't actually working on this podcast.
Charming. Ross, I forgot to introduce you.
Don't worry, I'm here for it.
And Ross.
I'm back.
And now Ross, he's back in the room.
I'm back, baby.
How does it feel to be back?
Oh, great. I've been waiting for this moment all my life.
Still late again, I see.
That was not late. Hang on, I sent you the screenshots of those trains. That was...
No. Hold on. The screenshot of trains doesn't prove...
The trains were delayed. Yes, it does.
No, what
yes,
I'm saying is...
It doesn't prove you were on that train.
No, but it also doesn't
Well, it does
matter.
because I arrived at the time that the delayed fucking...
So what you need to do in future is get the hour earlier train.
That's exactly right. So this is my problem. People who say they're late, right, is they're timing it to be on time.
Pedro, sorry. You know the other day to the Peter Crouch podcast?
Yeah.
Sorry, you were slightly hungover again to record that we had.
Yeah, I was hungover.
Because you had another Sunday session.
Yeah.
And how early did you get the hour early train, or were you an hour late to the record?
But that's my prerogative. It's called that Peter Crouch podcast.
Yeah, that's my prerogative.
This isn't called the therapy pit, you know.
It's not the therapy fucking Ross, is it?
No, the therapy
Fuck, he's got me
pit.
there. Yeah.
No, so what, to avoid delays, one should always get the hour earlier train.
One should, but I will recall the fact that we did build a studio in central London that you decided not to come into.
But we don't live in central London. We live
I
here.
don't live in fucking central Surrey.
It doesn't matter. Like, do you think when the NHS nurses are going into work, they're saying, "Do you mind moving the Royal Free to right outside my door"? No.
Such a good point.
No.
No.
Such a good point.
Well, now that we know that we can do the remote, maybe we'll just do that, Abby.
No, we won't.
No,
we won't.
can't do the remote.
I'll shut you the fuck up.
Oops,
Hey, how have you been anyway, guys?
All good.
Don't be late again.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. We've been good, yeah. We got guests on today.
I'm actually going into Alan Sugar and going, listen, your office is too far from my house. It's absolutely absurd. You kids.
Yeah.
Do you know Peter used to travel to Stoke from Surrey?
Did he?
Every day. And guess
Didn't
what?
complain
He's
once.
never late once.
I bet you didn't, Pete. You didn't complain once going to play football. Yeah.
Oh, was this a
I
chore
didn't
for
complain
you?
once driving in my Land Rover to fucking Stoke. Yeah.
This is a chore for you?
Fuck off.
Hey, listen, if this is a chore for you, we can quite happily get someone else.
We can't.
Yeah.
We actually can't because we proved that 1 week.
Yeah, no.
Just take notes.
I take notes being taken, and I do apologise.
And
for
I
what
don't
I've
want to
had
hear about how you get here once more because that's not our problem.
No, it's not. It's not. I mean, I'm sorry.
I don't care how you get here.
Get here when we
Fucking on
say.
time.
Anyway.
Anyway,
No, but it's good to have you back.
It's good to be back anyway.
Yeah.
I've missed this.
It's actually lovely to have you back.
Thank you, guys. Thank
It
you.
is. It's absolutely not the same without you, Ross, and we could not do the Therapy Crouch without
Thank you.
So
That means a lot.
good to have you back in health.
How are you?
Good.
You both look great, by the way. Yeah.
Well, we shouldn't. We've had the Lanza crew here all weekend.
Okay, the Lanza crew. For anyone
Yeah.
who doesn't know,
Our cousins who live in Lanzarote, who came over to come and spend time with us and watch Oasis.
third time.
We went to Oasis, yeah.
Second time for me.
But yeah, it was phenomenal. I mean, it's so good. But yeah, they had a lovely time. We had quite a heavy weekend, and then we got up and played golf. I took them to play golf.
Does Carl play? He's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's decent. Yeah, we had a good day. And we had
Carl
a few
brought me
beers
some
after.
sausages over.
Sausage.
That was
I've never
great.
met that side of your family. I'd like to meet them now.
you not?
I've had a good laugh.
Oh, they're great.
It's all your dad's side, isn't it? Yeah.
Unbelievable. You have met them when you were a kid.
Maybe when I was a kid, but I can't, like, as an adult, I've never gone for a pint with them.
Did phenomenal.
yeah.
Weren't you there when they stayed in John's?
I might have been. No. I've met Natalie. Is it Natalie?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a good laugh. She's a good laugh. Yeah.
Fabulous, Natalie.
Yeah.
So we had them over. So we had a fun-packed weekend.
Shenanigans.
Lots of shenanigans, lots of wine, great company. So yeah, just back on the health wagon this week.
Back on the heels.
Oh mate, I'm on the heels big time now. Daily greens. Oh yeah, I've quit alcohol. I've quit it. I had 3 heavy days there.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need that though to stop.
Can I ask you how your hangovers have developed as you got older? Because I feel mine are a lot more impactful. The past 3 to 5 years.
Mine are worse now. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost to the point where I don't want to go. Don't want to go that far. You know, like
from Monday to Thursday, but then Thursday,
yeah,
Thursday come around, Friday.
Yeah, but then I'm in the same position. I think, why do I feel like this again? It's the quality of time in the days that I don't want to lose them.
Agreed.
Yeah, my hangovers have definitely got a lot worse.
The thing is, you shouldn't. You know, it's not every day you do that, but when you've got family and friends over and you're hosting and you've got a packed itinerary of, you know, centered around food and drink and parties,
and your Scouse family as well. Like we have a part, we have a bevy, don't we?
Like, you know, it's inevitable.
I enjoyed every minute of it. I'm not going to lie.
You're not going to look back at that weekend and go, "Oh, I was so hungover." You got to be looking back at that weekend going, at the best time of my life.
And did you?
Yes.
Oh, that's good. That's really good.
Yeah.
I actually wasn't that hungover. We didn't have it wasn't that like bad the late nights. It was a consistent drinking for 3 days.
It was an accumulative effect.
Yeah, I get you. And you did have a kebab on Monday morning.
Oh, did you hear about this?
No.
I went to the Creator Pouch. The Creator Pouch. I went to the Peter Crouch pod and it was, I had a kebab on the way there. But I sat in with the Turkish lads and they sat with me. So I had 3 Turkish fellas who all Galatasaray fans, because Liverpool were playing Galatasaray in Champions League. So they were chatting about that. And I just had a kebab.
Did you tell them that you scored that goal?
Yes, boss one.
Did you tell them you scored that great goal for Galatasaray? Against Galatasaray?
Yeah, he was there. So that's why it all started. So he said, Peter Crouch, I said, yeah. He said, I was there at Anfield when you scored the scissor kick.
Why didn't you bring me one home? You're a cheek. Actually, you know what? This just leads me right on to my weekly wine now.
It wasn't afterwards, it was before.
Yeah,
so it was like breakfast. That was my breakfast.
No, because when we went to Oasis, we had lunch at 1.
Okay.
Pete came home around. We didn't have any dinner basically. So on the way home, like driving through Wembley, there's so many kebab shops, and I was like, "Please stop!" And he was just going to Lee, just drive. We're going home. We're going home.
I was.
He said Lee told me this morning that you said to him, "I'll just do some toast when she gets home."
You tight ass.
So we were all.
I'll do you some toast when we get in.
We all woke up absolutely starving, like because we didn't get.
And I think because you drilled it into my head about kebab all night, I thought to myself, you know what, I'm going to have one.
He was just hiring the music up in the front of the car and not
telling it wasn't happening.
Drowning out my voice.
Status so that'll shut it up.
So that was my weekly wine to you. When I want a kebab, give me one.
Yeah, good shout.
All
good
right,
shout.
fair enough.
Pete, any weekly wines from you, pal?
Well, it's just at the moment we're going through something at the moment. Last night, Ab was in bed. And I was so tired. And she was showing me rescue horses.
Okay, no change.
And I was saying yes to a lot of stuff that I didn't in the Cold Life Day. I'm not sure I'm so on board with.
No, so I'm going to rehome some.
She found a website where you just get these horses that need rescuing, or some of them are quite young as well, aren't they?
There's a lot of young ones.
Okay, which all like foals?
No, some have been like rescued. They've been treated badly. Rehabilitated, homeless.
Yeah.
And there's actually quite a few charities in the UK who do this. Most of them are non-backable. You won't be able to ride them.
Yeah.
So just companions. But, you know, what better way to live out the remaining years than in the Crouch clan?
Yeah. Yeah. There is something to be said about equine therapy. Because often you don't ride, and it's strange the way it is a lot of horses. You don't hear like, mind you, dog and cat therapy maybe, but equine, there is something that I think majestic about horses that can help your soul, I think.
It's like when you go down to the New Forest and you see them running wild.
In Lyndhurst and kind of Brockenhurst areas, yeah, I love it down there.
But just when I go to the stables, it's just my happiest place.
Yeah, how is Enzo doing?
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Although I haven't been able to ride him for 2 days, so I'm miffed because the weather's been glorious.
Great word.
So,
okay.
back in the saddle.
But you see, they're quite nice weekly wines for you guys, actually. There's not a lot of tension here. I like it.
It's one of those, it's like, last night I was very tired. I was drifting.
Yeah.
And I was worried that I'd, basically
Well, I've got the
opened
appointment.
up a horse sanctuary.
No, but they have to come and vet us. They have to come vet us to see if we're suitable. So
yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
But also, I kind of like, there's no vindictiveness in these weekly wines. They're nice weekly wines. You must have had a good week.
No,
you
we're
must
in
have
love
had a good
this
week.
week.
Yeah. Well, we just whined at you, didn't we?
Yeah, you did, yeah.
Kind of got it all off our chest.
Yeah.
Let's do the audience wines.
Let's do some.
Abbey, Pete and Ross, I was recently catching up with your mum episode. Thought that you'd all appreciate this. My husband and his stepdad frequently have football debates that sometimes end up quite heated. His stepdad is a hothead Spanish Liverpool fan, and my husband is a lifelong Potter. You're very popular in both houses, Peter. And I have noticed that whenever they get to the end of a discussion, my husband's stepdad often ends with the muttering of Spanish. And I recently found out that he says, "I fuck your mum." Is that
Puta de mer, is it?
Tu puta madre. Tu puta madre.
Tu puta madre.
So your mum is apparently the best ending to an argument in more than one language. I love the pod, and I often get looks from people wondering what I'm laughing at when I'm laughing to myself in the car. It's always you three. Yeah, but like that's funny because obviously when I played football, there was a lot of Spanish speaking, Portuguese, but like you would end up hearing some of the horrible phrases more than once. So I could say them in French, Spanish, Portuguese,
Italian.
Italian. Yeah. Like genuinely, I can only say those kinds of words. Yeah,
It's like our son's got like, he says so many cute things. So they've just started playing on the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
And he calls it his Nintendo. Instead of Nintendo.
Correct.
Didn't you say something similar about the PlayStation? What did you call it?
The game station.
The game station.
He calls it the game station.
Calls it the game station.
But then last night, I didn't know how to sync these two Nintendo Switches. So we went, Mom, just ask ChatGPT.
He didn't even say chat. It was just ask ChatGPT. And I was like, what?
You've been hanging around about John too much, haven't
So funny.
I know.
So funny. Hello, guys. On one of your recent pods, you were talking about fake things like copy Uggs and how sometimes they're actually not that bad. I've got a pair of fake Uggs, haven't I?
Folks.
These are actually,
We've got real Uggs on today.
Yeah, we both have. I've got them on as well, look.
My man.
Living a
It's
dream.
slipper season, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, without doubt.
I love my slippers. You can't beat an Ugg.
Do you know what I love about your house? You have like this box of like, because we're not allowed to walk on the rim. And it's like the guest slippers, but they're all fucking Uggs. What house do you walk into? The guest slippers and Uggs.
The rim's gone totally out the window. Have you seen the state of the rim?
No, I haven't.
The rim is black.
Filthy rim.
Filthy.
Nightmare.
Filthy.
Okay, it reminded me of me and my boyfriend. We have this little joke where we call anything fake or a copy by putting blag in front of it. So fake magnums from Aldi become blagnums.
How good's that?
That is good.
A blagnum.
Fake Fanta is a blanter. It's a belter. And so on. We always end up cracking around, walking around the Aldi or the Lidl, adding blag to everything. Especially as it's quite blatant they're trying to copy big brands. That's
Blarios.
good. Oh, I love the pod. Oh, that's class. That's so good.
Blagnum's a belter,
So
isn't it?
what have we got like that's... Trying to
What
think,
do we have that's
A
fake?
blast bar.
it's kind of like it's the exact same packaging and it's the same product, but it's like M&S's own or Tesco's own.
Like Irish Meadow.
Yeah, Irish cream. Irish cream.
Irish cream.
The Bledo. Irish Bledo.
What's Bledo?
I don't know.
No, it's because he's got Irish Meadow. He's got Irish Bledo.
Yeah, what they do just put a bl before it, don't they?
Blaileys.
Blanter. Blagnums.
Blaileys.
Blaileys. Bloke. Bloke-a-cola.
Whiskey and bloke.
Oh, fucking hell.
I love that.
So this next part of the pod is sponsored by Huel.
Yeah, we're still all over it, aren't we, babe?
We're still on our
I have a
Huel
little go
hype.
at the old, this is the old chocolate peanut butter black edition. Mm-hmm. I'll be honest with you, you normally go for the vanillas, but you're a big fan of these ones.
Yeah. To be fair, we got a couple of cents in the office the other day. They've gone down a treat, haven't they, P?
Oh, mate, they've gone.
the Monday morning jobbies these that we were all saying the other day, bit hangover from the Saturday, Sunday.
Bit hangover. I was slightly hungover.
I think it's good to have them in the office though.
Yeah.
Because when I come into the office, the train, long journey in, I've had no lunch or whatever, have one of them.
Well, it's good on the go, isn't it? That's
Good
what it
on the
is.
go.
And it's very peanutty, that one.
Yeah, well, I love peanut butter.
I do as well. I had it last night, all over my toast.
I knew you had something.
It wasn't a toast, it was a bagel.
P, you got to get those gains in, lads. You didn't just wake up like that, Abby.
No, man. This doesn't just happen. This is vanilla black edition.
It is good though as well. It leaves you full throughout the day. I feel like it's one of those that you're not just, you have it an hour later, you're hungry again. These kind of do fill you up, don't they?
It's good on the go. If you're busy, you've got kids, you're whizzing around everywhere, grab one, take it in the car with you, drink it. You're getting goodness, your protein. It's tasty. If you've got a sweet tooth like I have, the chocolate and peanut butter is perfect.
Easy 35 grams of protein as well if you get in the gym. Gonna get those gains in.
We're getting to Ibiza, so you best double take them. Double protein.
Breakfast, lunch and dinner, Pedro.
Can you have 4 a day of these?
No, great flavour and we're still loving them.
Together, Huel makes healthy eating simple.
Yeah, you can try both today, babe, with £10 off your purchase with my exclusive code TherapyCrouch10 at huel.com/TherapyCrouch10. Use my code, fill out the post-checkout survey to support the show.
See you soon, guys.
See you soon. So we've got some guests on today, Pedro.
We certainly have.
We've got, so one of them is from one of your favourite TV shows of all time, Gavin and Stacey.
Yeah.
And one of them I used to work with back in, we worked out, it's 20 years ago.
Mad.
Listen, Ab's been in showbiz for over 20 years now.
Yeah, she has.
I think it was the last
And it shows.
I think that was the last time.
Because showbiz is what, talk about icks.
Showbiz.
Anyone who says they're in show business. Can you imagine if I came home and said I was a footballer and they said, what do you do now? And I said, I'm just in showbiz.
Google me.
Me? Showbiz now.
No, but so many.
Can you imagine?
But
It's not called show friends, it's called show business, baby. Google me.
I'll have a spice latte, please, are you now?
No, it's yeah, but some people like that Joan Collins era and the big uns.
Oh yeah, that is showbiz. That is showbiz,
Bruce
baby.
Forsyth was in showbiz.
They're of the generation of showbiz. People don't say it now. They'd say what would they say now? I'm in the arts or the industry.
With the industry.
Yeah, it's even that one. So how long have you been in the business?
In the industry.
The business of show business. You got to try. If you say the word showbiz in general, I think.
No, you're not. Well, I have never said.
No, I'm not saying you.
Showbiz.
I would have disowned you.
When I have to fill in a form and it says occupation, I don't know what to write. I write housewife.
Yeah.
Not author.
Don't you write showbiz? You should just write showbiz. Next time
Just
you
write
get
Google me. If you're not sure, right? Google me. Here's my name. Google me.
Oh, how funny is it? Just write I am in show business.
Show business.
Occupation. I'm in show business.
Occupation. Abbey Clancy.
Occupation surrounded by fucking knobheads. Me too.
Very pod mother.
It would be so funny if you actually did that though.
Shall we get our guest on?
Yeah, yes.
Let's get them on.
Let's get them on. Right, huge Therapy Crouch welcome to Larry and George Lamb. How are you? You all right?
Hey.
All good?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, that's not. I've forgotten. It's been a while. Yeah, really good, man. Really good. It's a glorious day. We're in a beautiful part of the world. It's nice to see you guys again.
I haven't seen you since we worked together.
I know.
I think I've seen you briefly.
I was trying to think when that was. I think it was 2007 maybe or something like that, which is nearly 20 years ago, which is wild. And
you only had one grey streak then?
I know, it's come on. It's come on. And that was the first live, I think it was the first live thing I ever did. And I actually remember Dad coming down. I remember I was having kittens basically out the back and being really worried about it. And Dad came down and was like, everybody's here to have a good time, you know? Yeah. And so rather than come from the side of stage, go through the audience and go and say hello to everybody. And then you'll just realize everybody's on the level and they're nice. And so I walked through and shook lots of people's hands, and it was a big, all of a sudden my shoulders came down. I was like, okay, we're going to be all right. And then we made this silly show about, what was it? It was called the Fashion Show or something.
I don't think I
whatever.
got employed since doing live because I was so bad. And I've got like full memory blank and was just shitting myself the whole time.
It was stressful. And Michelle hadn't done it either.
No,
and
but
so
she was really confident.
she's ended up becoming a comedian.
Yeah,
you know
she's
that?
fabulous.
Yeah.
I loved her.
Yeah, I follow her. She's really funny. So and here we are.
So here we are.
We were working together, right? Ecover, Game of Loads, the Great British Dishwasher Debate.
Yeah.
Talk us through that.
Yeah, so we've basically been working with Ecover for the last couple of months. They put a whole study out. You'll know this, guys. More than half the households in Britain have been having arguments about the way you stack the dishwasher.
Yeah.
We're no different.
Doesn't
You guys.
stack it.
All right. So what you just
I leave it
opt
near
out,
it.
basically.
I'll leave it near it.
That's one way of
hope
doing it.
something will happen at some stage.
You're the
So
kind
the
of
washing up fairy comes along and puts it all in. Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Basically, all the house, everybody's arguing about it. They've done this study. What it boils down. So I come from the kind of raccoon archetype. So I'm just chucking everything in, hoping it's all going to work out for the best.
I'm neat.
Dad's very neat. You're obviously a neat person. It turns out. Retrospectively, I've found out if you're packing it neatly, it's actually way more efficient. So it's better for the planet if you're packing it neatly. Not only, so now I have to eat my humble pie that actually Dad was right after all. And
Or your
so,
steak and kidney.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't happen a lot, I tell you.
And then they also teamed up with Tetris to do this fully loaded version of Tetris. Obviously, you know, we will have played it when we were kids, and it's quite amazing. I don't know if you've played it recently, but I hadn't played it for 20 odd years, and immediately you're back in the zone. You remember all your tricks. There's all the little hacks, and
I used to have that phone. Was it the T11 that you played Tetris on?
yeah.
Weren't they just fully loaded? Like Tetris was like, it was like the iPhone when you got U2's album.
It was
Tetris
already on there, basically. Yeah. No, literally. So, and then, if you want to remind yourself how to do good stacking and how to live an ordered life, then Tetris is a great tool for that, basically. Yeah.
I was talking to you outside, and you were talking about obviously doing celebrity Gogglebox as well, and obviously that kind of kicking things off for you two really again to do stuff together,
Because we hadn't been working together for quite a while, and then the agent just said, like, would you like to go on Gogglebox? So yeah, why not? And then all of a sudden we're back together again on the telly, and here we are in the country with you two.
But I think there's nothing better than working with your family, like our whole team.
Yeah.
It's brothers, cousins, and I just think it's, because even doing this, Pete and I, it's not often you sit down and talk about because, you know, you're busy with the kids, you're going to work, you're doing this, but like once a week we sit down and discuss everything, and I think it's
lovely.
It's like
it's nice because you're always doing other things. You never get time to sit down and actually discuss things.
we did it with my dad though, Gogglebox. And he was that
I heard
that.
They had to cut everything out, basically.
He was feature.
Censored.
Really?
He was just sitting there like that.
He was a bit too spicy for Gogglebox.
A little bit spicy, just a
he's
little bit
doing
old
the
school.
X-rated version, basically.
I couldn't. He just all of a sudden got Tourette's. But it's like when he's nervous, that's what he does. He just went mental.
So actually, no, with Gogglebox though, like it really does feel like you're in the front room. Like the cameras
you are in the front room.
In the front room.
and the cameras are hidden. There's no one in there with you.
No.
And I think he genuinely just thought he was on the couch, you know. So
You were there like, tone it down a bit. Come on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's good fun,
Dad.
that show. I love it.
It's amazing how many people watch it, and so like as Dad said, we hadn't done things for. We did a show together probably
17 and 18.
Yeah, so a while ago, doing this thing Britain by Bike, where we were travelling around, and it was really lovely. And then I set up a farming business, been working in that for the last however many years,
which we need to discuss.
which we'll discuss. And then we got this opportunity to go on Gogglebox, and then out the back of that, we've had loads of great jobs come. So it's lovely. And as you say, like getting to 100 years ago, we all would have worked with our families. And for some reason, it's fallen out of our way of doing things as a society. And I think it's a real shame, actually. I think it's a beautiful thing to spend time with your parents.
I think because it's authentic as well. Like, I think the why so many people resonate with it, it's an authentic relationship.
Yeah.
Well,
and people like to see that.
What's on your mind, right?
Yeah.
But just being able to spend time with your parents as adults, I think is also a really interesting thing. You know, like your kids now get some of them becoming kind of, what are they, 14, 15 or
14,
whatever?
10,
7 and 6.
Right, so that whole dynamic will start changing as they move out of being children and start to be their own person, and then you build another relationship with them, you know? So that button gone again, babe.
This we
just had a couple of pies, and
it's super weird. You come into Abbey Clancy's house and you're just eating steak and kidney pies in the middle of the afternoon. You wouldn't think it, but she is.
It's a weak magnet on this button, obviously.
Right, okay.
Every time I breathe, it's just popping up. No, because there was this terrible stat. Ross, what was that stat when it was like, by the time your kids are aged 10, 18, you've spent 90% of the time you'll spend with them.
Yeah.
So like trying to encourage that relationship later on, kids with adults is great.
Yeah, well, that's what you've done. It's nice to be able to do that. I mean, there must be times where if there's a disagreement.
Washing machine needs stacking or a dishwasher needs stacking, then there's a problem.
That's the only time I get the job.
No, he said there must be times when you fall out about stuff. Dad's got hearing aids in and they don't really work. So if you just talk to me, I'll tell him what you're saying and then we'll just bounce it round, you know? 3:30, Dad. 3:30, yeah.
Is that just not a tactic men do though? Because Pete does that to me, like just selective hearing.
Yeah, well, it's what my old granddad used to call cocking a deafen. And that's what you do. What's he doing? He's cocked a deafen.
Yeah, nice. That's nicely said.
Expression for everything.
Yeah.
Right?
What are you like around the house, Larry? Are you good with the dishwasher?
Yeah, I got
are you
trained
good?
by my gran when I was a little boy. I lived with my gran, and my nan, like a lot of girls of her age, that period, that she'd gone into service from a respectable home. If you're from a respectable working class home, your mother could take you along to an agency where they hired girls into houses, and because loads and loads of people had help in the house. So my nan had gone into service. She already knew how to do things, but I went and lived with my nan and stood alongside my nan. And when I was 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, I learned how to run a household properly. So you knew how to buy it, all the meat, everything else you knew, and you knew how to do every little job. All the shoes, they were my job. I used to, when there were 6 people living in the house, I would clean on Saturday morning. I would polish all the shoes in the house. You taught how to ironing shirts. You taught how to, mend everything. So yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right on the housing thing.
Yeah, so that's Ab's problem with me. Is like I'm not very good.
And our children.
I'm very good on the
Very
building
good
front.
at like banging them in top bins, but not great.
I can head a corner in from 5 yards, but
Even our kids are useless.
No, but like I'm good. I'm clean around the house. Like I tidy up after myself. I do.
You're clean, but you're messy.
No, but I do like in the kitchen. I'm saying.
No,
like,
you're not.
in the bedroom.
Here we go. It's a different show, isn't it?
I'm filthy. I'm completely filthy. I didn't mean it like that. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Too late.
No, but our kids, like when I was like Sophia's age, I could make a roast dinner. I'd like clean the house top to bottom.
Yeah.
She was just like,
But it's because we don't make them.
no.
It's like, what do you want for what? That was an expression that I never ever heard as a child. What do you want for dinner?
No, you just get what you're given.
Was dinner.
Yeah.
Right? Dinner is what
But that's
you
such
eat.
a good. I say that to you, don't I? That's so right.
Yeah.
You don't. It's just like nobody had the choice of anything.
No.
It's so exactly
Dinner,
right.
sausage and mash.
Yeah.
So what are the kids having for dinner tonight then?
We had sausage and mash last night.
Well, they were.
I'm sorry.
Have you had this?
Yeah. Not just any pie. That's good. TK's pies. Yeah.
So George, talk us through the farming, because obviously I suppose when I first knew you when you were working with Ab, I didn't see it going that way. But
I didn't see it going that way.
I think you'd got a bit scared and said you were going to finish up a farm.
Yeah. Although George actually weirdly means farmer as a name. That's what it means. So maybe it's all just some kind of fate. I was in my early 30s. I was doing all right on the telly. Had a whole kind of bit where I was just like, what am I doing in my life? I realised I felt my star hadn't been called down out of the ether to become a game show host, and went off and, decided to renounce all worldly goods and had a big eat, pray, love, and, go off to the east and try and figure out who I was. had a couple of years, exploring and introspective stuff, and felt like I'd got some good downloads, was ready to come back to the UK and get stuck in and try and be George 2.0 and see how I could be in service. And then I was like, just as I was coming back, I thought, you know what, fuck it, I might just have one last summer in Ibiza. and so I rented a house there, and then I went to, somebody said, come to this club. My mate's DJing. He's a really interesting guy. And he's had some big life changes. I think you two will get on. Went into this club. He's literally be the same size as Peter, massive geezer.
God.
And he looked awful, right? But not 5-day Ibiza bender awful, like just a man on the edge kind of and so the first things I ever said to him was, "Are you okay?" And he's my business partner now. He's called Andy Cato, and he had a band called Groove Armada. I don't know if I said that already, but
Pete's
I've got a photo of me and him in the DJ booth, and I'm pretending I'm DJing, and he's let me take the photo as if I'm DJing in front of the thousands of people.
Okay, well that's perfect.
Yeah.
So
so is that the big blonde guy?
The big blonde guy, exactly.
Yeah.
And so he basically read an article on the way home from a gig, and it was talking about the industrial food system and how it's the number one cause for soil deforestation, soil degradation, and biodiversity collapse, basically. And so, unfortunately, the way that we're eating is actually wrecking the planet, and it's also making us sick. He decided to have a go at being self-sufficient. Started a vegetable patch. The vegetable patch became a polytunnel. The polytunnel became a stall at the local market, and then before long, he decided that he was going to sell his publishing rights, which is basically your pension as a musician. And he bought a farm down in France. Now, when he bought it, he didn't know what he was looking for. And so you really what you've got to look for is how much organic matter you've got and to test the soil. And he didn't know to do that. And after 80 years of conventional maize, which is heavy duty industrial agriculture and a lot of chemicals.
Because the organic meat it depends on the grass, because
of course. So if it's in the grass, it's in the cows, basically.
It's not organic.
And the worms, as I've learned, that's the key thing, isn't it? The worm count.
Yeah. Worms are keeping us all, keeping the wheels on, guys.
I love all this.
And so anyway, he bought this farm. He was trying to bring it back to life. When I met him, he was at risk of going bankrupt, basically, and so was DJing in Ibiza to make some money to prop the whole exercise up. And then not soon after I met him, he found this book by a guy called Sir Albert Howard, who's been dead for 8 years or whatever. But the basic premise of the book was that plants and animals have developed over millennia working together and finding a perfect solution. And when you separate them, you take this perfect solution, you create all sorts of problems, basically. And so he got some cows, and before long, this kind of sterile, dead land was coming back to life, and they're eating and they're pooping and they're stomping, and all the biodiversity and the birds and the bugs and the bees, and all of a sudden it comes back to life. And that was the bit where it was like, hang on, there's something here. And so I went down to the farm, met him, saw what he was doing, and was just like, I don't know anything about farming, but I can help you, and I know how to tell stories and to amplify stuff. And so we're now, I don't know, we met in 2013. He's now back in the UK. We're a network of about 150 farms. We've got this company called Wildfarmed, and we grow predominantly wheat, but barley and oats as well, anything you can grow in arable. And then we have a lot of livestock in rotation in the system. And so, it really ties in with all the stuff we've been doing with Ecova. How do we find ways where like normal people, everyday working people, can do a little bit to try and move things forward? We know we've got a big problem with the environment. Well, you can figure out where you're spending your money, and you can make choices. That really in life, like where we spend our money is how we make our choices. And if we want to support a better food system, then we can buy from companies like Wildfarmed. And if we want to support a better environmental system, then we can buy from stuff like from Ecova. That's how we're going to try and move things forward. You've just got to decide, like, that one's polluting and that one's actually sorting the planet out, and they both do the same thing. I want the one that sorts the planet out.
But I think the kids are so receptive to that now, like all our kids, like if they bring stuff home, they're like, oh, that's too much plastic, this, I'm not eating that, is that organic, is this...
Yeah, but the word has got through to them, They're canny, and the word's got through. There's something to be worried about here. And they're saying, if these grown-ups start saying, what are we doing, what are we leaving to our kids and our grandchildren, we better be aware of what this is,
Slightly worrying times that the kids are kind of teaching the adults, really, like...
But you know,
about it.
I think the only people who can teach you anything really are your kids. Certainly, if you're a fully formed adult, you know you've got all your belief systems. You'll be locked into those patterns. You've been into it for a long time. Me coming as an outsider and saying, "Hey, I think you should do X, Y, and Z." Immediately, you'll be like, "Really? What's his angle?" Whereas your kids, they love you unconditionally, and they're coming to you and they're like, "Mum, Dad, I'm telling you, you've got this wrong. I think you really need to have a thing." And you naturally you'll resist at the beginning, but after a while, they're the ones, I think the only ones who can kind of wear you down, you know? So.
And they are so tuned into everything that's online. And they're tuned into everything. We're tuned in most of the time to really what we want to know, you know, but they have got it all around them all the time, and they've grown up in it and continue to grow up in with it. So they're always going to be slightly ahead of us.
Our kid, we want a farm, so that's what I need you to convince Peter. You're laughing.
I think it'd be amazing. Really,
we will get there. I imagine.
You know, even if like, shut your mouth.
yes, dear.
But that's my dream.
Great.
Yeah.
Grow
What a wonderful dream. And he also started a charity with a big school out in the north of London.
Yeah,
where they had a great big, about 16 acres or something. And the whole project was to get the kids growing their own food and to have like a farm there with animals and everything else. And and the interesting thing that I found is that the take-up of or the potential take-up of parents for that school, once that got him there, you know, once the numbers of people that were coming to view the school with the idea of maybe sending their kids there, by the time that system had been working there, they were having to run 2 evenings to get the potential parents going to that school because the parents were hooked into it via their kids.
Yeah, it's mega that.
Yeah. I think you should do it. I think it'd be amazing, really. And I think you should. And I think
for it. Like I laugh and joke about it, like saying, "Oh, it's Ab's dream and not mine." But the thought of being somewhere like that and so peaceful, living off your own land, like
exactly.
it's a beautiful dream to have.
Yeah. And it's hard. It's hard work as well. Like like Andy talks about. He says he's never been so philosophically or physically or spiritually challenged as he has been when he's been a farmer. Because all the time you got to finding solutions. You're problem solving all the time as a farmer, and it's all if you're doing it properly. It's about observation. So you're watching what's going on. For sure you can read books and you can get information from other people, but you're
experience. You need to be in there,
that field here is going to be slightly different to the one who your mate's telling you that he looks at in Norway or Cambridgeshire or wherever it is, you know. So there'll be people can give you a bit of a steer on it, but then you got to be there every day, see it, feel it. Hang on a minute, that doesn't work, you know. And I think that's something we've really lost, you know, like, you know, several thousand years ago, we were all living outside in nature. We were part of it. Our existence we were totally interdependent on the whole thing and our understanding of it.
Yeah.
And so then we've moved further and further into these houses and we've become totally separated from nature and totally separated from the food system. And no wonder, nature's in trouble and everybody's getting sick.
Everyone's getting sick.
Yeah.
So Larry, I have to ask you about Gavin Stacey. Obviously, the Christmas special was incredible, right? I mean, it was amazing.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I'm asked a lot about what my favourite scene ever in Gavin and Stacey was, and that last day of filming that end, when 9 times out of 10 when you're doing a TV series, the first thing you're going to do is the end, and the last thing you're going to do is the beginning, right? Because they just do it all according to the locations. But they'd engineered that so that we would be filming the last day, and we always knew we'd be filming the last day on the last day of work. And it was just extraordinary because they figured, okay, let's make it easy. Nobody has to be learning lines, worried about whether they're going to drop the ball. You know, what we're going to do is we're going to make this like a party. And it was absolutely unforgettable for everybody. And you could feel, because like when you've been around the crews, you couldn't always get the same crew all the time, but there was a sort of a core, the director and the first assistant director and the second assistant director were always the same people. They were always the core of it right there. And then each time the crew came together, they all became a part of this ever-extending family. And so, you know, halfway through the day, most people are ready to cry. And as it went ticked on all towards the end. And then, clearly the audience don't see, but when the dancing scene happened, it was like, come on. So all the crew were in there, you know, and they're all dancing around and having the best time. So yeah, I mean, that whole thing was unforgettable.
Why did it resonate so much with the audience?
Because it's all about love. It's all about, you know, when I got, you know, we won that, you know, let's blow the trumpet. We won that National Television Award the other day, you know, and they'd asked me to say something, and I said to you, look, you know, when Ruth and James wrote Gavin and Stacey, they created a family that everyone can belong to, because everybody wants to be part of a big, loving, extended family, and you can belong to this, right? And that's what it was, totally inclusive, because it wasn't about people who are, you know, who are pretending to be something. There was no pretending there at all. It was so carefully put together with all those characters, and people would say, oh, and it always feels like it's real. And that's the skill, another one of these totally unknown skills that people have to put together a cast of people. They think they just get a bunch of actors, but to get, you know, you can imagine slotting those people together, finding that couple for playing Gavin and Stacey, who had to fall in love on camera, and you had to believe them falling in love. And if you didn't believe them, there was no story there. Well, finding those two people who didn't know each other, never been in a room together, and get them together and then looking at it and thinking, yep, that's it. We got Gavin and Stacey there. It's just extraordinary.
I think what's so clever is that everyone's got like mates like Smithy, you know, all of that whole, all the lads, and also the, you know, your character. You know, there's definitely parents like that. You put yourself in your own family and go, do you know what? This is exactly like us.
Exactly, and they just got it right, you know, because they are so canny, those two.
You know what we did before the England, we went away with England for the World Cup. Smithy came out, James Corden come in and did that sketch. I was in that with all the lads when he hammered all the boys. And it was amazing what he did, where he came in and was just like, we were told, look, this is going to take one take. He's going to hammer you a little bit. You've just got to try and not laugh. And we stood there and he did it all in one take. And we were like, I was like, what? It was very fun. It was very hard not to laugh. And then we just got off on a plane for the World Cup. I was like, wow, it was mad.
He's the pair of them together. They just, I always refer to them as the dream weavers, the pair of them, you know. They just,
very talented.
They watch something and then all of a sudden it becomes a part of something. So clever.
Yeah, so this isn't the first time you've worked together. What other things have you done in the past?
Oh, do you know what? Actually, the first thing we did together was that parent trip. You did that with your mum as well. Yeah.
I love that.
Wow. Did you go?
We went to India.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, we went to Namibia. God, dear, oh dear.
You were in the Amazon or something? When you were in like the rainforest?
We were in the desert. We were in the desert,
Right,
and it was
in the Kalahari Desert. And
that was an incredible show.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it was a fascinating thing to do.
Oh my God.
Yeah, fascinating thing to do. But it was all going really well until they insisted, because we were with this tribe and they live right in the hinterland, like nothing else is there. But they have to give you a farewell feast. So the farewell feast means they've got to go to their herds. They got cattle and they got goats. So they go to the herd, and the chief goes to the herd of the goats, and they bring a goat along. So they bring a goat that you're going to eat, right?
Yeah.
So, and then you have to help kill it. Then you have to help skin it. Then you have to help gut it. And then you have to help reading all the guts when they lay them out on the fur, because there's a message in there about how your journey's going to go all the way back to Acton or wherever it is. Somehow or other, I think they can transfer it to any place in the world. But anyway, so we're going back to London, and they're looking at this. It's like, oh, and the other one goes, oh, like that. You think, oh, no. And then they move it inside, and they say, no, it's all right now. They move it so like, because you're going to Acton. And so then the next bit is, we have to start the feast, right? So they get the fire lit, and somebody gets what looks like an old paint pot that's been around. I don't know, they found it on a dump somewhere about 100 years ago.
Yeah.
And they put a bit of rainwater in it and start boiling it. And then the chief gets the machete, and evidently the key part for warriors on the beast is this bit here. They chop the breastbone out with the ends of bits of rib and all the rest of it there, and pop that in the pot, and boil it. Right, they just boil it, and then you've got to eat it. So they only boil it for about 5 minutes, and then they pull a bit out, and he has to.
It was pretty. I was calling. I was a vegetarian at that point. No. But it was the roughest thing I've ever.
Rank.
Yeah, and like Dad will eat anything because he was born in 1947, and even he was where he was struggling. He was struggling. We were waiting for the dog to come round so we could just palm it off a little bit.
Yeah.
Me and my mum were the same. They'd like just dig a hole and get like some dirt off the street and like wash the pan.
Yeah.
It was a campsite, and I'm like, I've never been in a tent in my entire life. I'm not about to, and I just burst into tears. Like I was like, I can't do this. I just can't. Not because I'm being a princess. I'm petrified of anything. I'm like,
really?
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
What, like snakes and all that sort of thing?
No, not snakes. Just like being outside and like some like getting kidnapped or something.
You got a film crew with you,
I know,
babe.
but
They're not
bloody
gonna.
Tommy, what's he gonna do? It's like if someone comes and gets me.
Shout out to Tommy.
Shout out to Tommy. But by the end of it, I was galloping on camels, and I come home, and Pete met me at the airport, got home, the house was a tip. There was no food in the fridge. And I was like, Pete, these poor boys have been packing our campsite up every day. Then we'd travel on camels for like 6 hours a day. Then they'd set it all up. Then they'd make our dinner. And he's been lying at home for 2 weeks doing fuck all.
Oh, no.
I was just like,
I've been working.
He's banging goals in left, right, centre, babe.
I just loved it.
Because obviously they work so hard, like 12-hour days.
Oh my-
She came home and looked at me, you're an absolute disgrace. Like, because I hadn't bought, I think, tea or something. Milk. There wasn't any milk in the house.
I'm sorry I brought that one up, guys. You know what I mean? Then we went on to make a show called Britain by Bike, basically, where there was much less arguments about what. No, we went travelling around all over the UK. Like we went to over 2 series. We went to 10 different areas of outstanding national beauty.
Yeah, I saw that.
And it was such a like. We're so quick to get on a plane and travel halfway around the world and go and find somewhere that's really beautiful and got interesting people and all the rest of it. And actually going into your own country and meeting people and working with people, and like we were running sheepdogs some days. We were re-shoeing horses. Yeah. We were abseiling down things. I wasn't very good at abseiling.
That was
nervous heights.
I'm not very good with heights.
No.
Just me, kind of like, are you no good either?
I'm Abbey's horrendous, but I'm okay. I'm not awful with heights.
Am I?
I'm pretty high myself.
Yeah. It'd be a bit weird if you didn't like heights, wouldn't it? Yeah.
My eyes have been up here for years.
I cannot do heights. Like if you have to, there's no way. I don't know. Did you do it, Larry?
I could do heights. I'm not worried about heights.
Did you do the abseiling?
Underground. No, I didn't do the abseiling.
No,
he was a specialist for that. My thing is going underground is not my favourite thing. I'm all right.
Underwater or underground?
Underground.
Is it claustrophobic? Like,
yeah, I can become claustrophobic.
I can as well.
It's like. But
fortunately, there's not loads of people trying to make you do potholing all the time. So everything's all right. Yeah. My poor old dad getting demanded that he's got to go potholing again.
Yeah. It's another potholing job.
But yeah, that was great. And then I had a whole kind of breakdown and realised I didn't want to make telly anymore.
Where did you go? So when you
that part of my career, right?
Where did you go?
I went.
No, but was it interesting?
I went. Like I spent. Do you remember that? I don't know. I think Danny Wallace wrote a book called The Yes Man, so for a year I just said yes to whatever. Like if I ran into you and you were telling me something interesting, and said I'd go, like you should go over there. Yeah, okay, cool. And I just followed my nose, and then when I met people, they'd say something interesting's happening over here. Do you want to come? Yes. I spent a lot of time in Latin America. I spent a lot of time in Brazil.
Wow.
In the jungles, spent a lot of time in Thailand, was in a lot of kind of retreats and all that. You're right, mate, you got a bit of indigestion. Yeah, you just just trying to be in nature as much as possible, you know, and I was doing a lot of plant medicine and just trying to, you know, spend some time getting out of the environments that I felt, you know, even just this weekend being out in this little cottage I've just rented and being next to this woods and just like, I feel totally different.
Yeah, you do.
And I've spent my whole life, I was born in the city, I've lived in the city my whole life. And you buzz or you thrive off that. You thrive off your ability to know how to navigate the city and how to move at the same pace. And then something happens in you at a certain point in your life where you're just like, this thing's moving too fast. I feel exhausted by just it. And nothing, I don't really see, nothing's really happening. And so I made a decision to just get off the treadmill, basically. And I was very lucky. I'd been kind of financially successful for a few years. So I was able to take some time off. Not most people. And I didn't have anybody who was dependent on me, didn't have any children, didn't have a big mortgage or anything. I was just like, right, I'm going to go and be free for a few
the right
years.
Time to do it.
Yeah.
To me, I like to go away and just be on my own, you know.
Yeah.
Like people say, where'd you like to go at the seaside? Empty beach. I don't want anybody else there at all, except
That's
maybe
awesome.
him, and a big pile of driftwood and a box of matches. And that's it. I'll sit there and have a fire all day long.
How do you find it, Larry? Because obviously you are on EastEnders, right, where people know who you are and think they know you, and Gavin and Stacey, right? So huge shows. You've been doing it for a long, long time. Like, people must come up to you all the time.
The interesting thing is that the people that come and say something most of the time are people that watch Gavin and Stacey, because Gavin and Stacey's audience is so broad. It really, you know, I can walk into a room and I can tell by the way the people look at me if they're a Gavin and Stacey fan. I mean, lots to do with the demographic. You know, there's certain people who, when it started, they were just going into their teens. So by the time that, you know, they're like mid-30s now, you basically know that there's a 90% chance you become a part of their lives, you know. And so EastEnders is slightly different. And people, they'll say, oh, you were Arch. I've had people say to me, you were Dirty Den, weren't you? Well, no, not quite Dirty Den, no. But, you know, but
He loves it. He loves it, is the short answer. He basically, if he could have it, his favourite job in life is just to go round and shake hands with people and have a chat. That's literally all he does.
I'm doing this book tour.
There's nothing wrong with that, Larry.
Promoting my book, right? And like, it's a lot of the people that do that book thing, they are book festivals and all the rest of it. They kind of know how our authors work. Well, I work a different way. I go out the front when everybody's coming in, walk down the line behind them all and say, Larry Lamb can't come today, sorry. Because then they all start turning around and it's like, so this whole thing. And then I go inside and I stand there. And like the other night I was in the country down in Devon, and they said, we got 300 people coming here tonight. That's all right. So I just stand there and I shake hands with 300 people. It's what I do. We discovered that my mum was adopted, so we didn't know anything about what she'd come from. We discovered that we came from a long line of people who owned travelling menageries. They shifted portable zoos around the country before zoos became the thing.
Gosh.
And so I was basically doing what my ancestors, my predecessors did, just the showman, right? And I never knew why I was in show business. I had no idea how on earth. I always felt I was gate crashing at some special party, but I wasn't.
In the
It's in
blood.
the genes.
Yeah.
It's there. And I go in and say hello to people. Well, you go. If I go and say hello to 300 people and they're all sitting down there, I'm linked to them and they're linked to me. And it just makes the whole thing feel so much different. And it took me a long time to figure that one out, I tell you.
Well, it's the same thing you told me when we were starting, but now you're maybe just doing...
I'm putting it into practice because you were having to put it into practice then.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a hard thing because not everyone can do that. It's a hard thing to do.
No, but it's surprising what you can do if you force yourself.
Yeah.
You know, if you decide you're going to go one step further than your comfort zone, it's surprising how you can surprise yourself. It really is, because it's like all this. It's like, particularly if you're going along to thing like a festival of like literature, you know, where people are writing books and they're there to talk about their book. You can be a bit standoffish, but that means when you get in front of them, they don't know you and you don't know them, and there's a whole big bit got to get done first.
Yeah,
you've got to get at ease with each other, and you'll see people's faces if you don't do it, and you'll see them all of a sudden. You'll see some face down near the front and they'll go, they've kind of clocked that you're all right because they're sounding you out.
Yeah.
Because they don't know you. But you shake hands with them. Hello, what's your name? Bum, bum, bum. You got cold hands, blah, 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 blah. There's 300 people there that know you.
You're good at that, though.
Yeah, I think I'm not bad at that.
Yeah, sorry, Larry, I keep
successful footballer and he's 8 foot tall. He's got to be good at saying, hello, how you doing? You all right?
No, but if
That's a
someone
good
said
point.
to you, like, get up on the stage in front of 100,000 people and do a dance, you could easily do it, whereas I drop
Famously.
dead. Famously, yeah.
That's all I'm known for, I think.
It's true.
You just ply them with pie and they'll be all right.
Yeah, there you go.
Right, guys, hopefully you can help us with this, but we have a thing on this podcast called the Agony Abs. This is where people write in and we try and help them.
With their problems, and we'll try and...
Quite often, we're not much help, but we have a go. So hopefully you're
living in hope, right?
Yeah, basically. Right. Hi, Abs and Pete. Absolutely love the podcast. I'm currently trying to conceive... I'm currently trying to convince. Totally different thing.
I was like, I don't know.
Convince. Okay, I'm just going to reiterate that. My 17-year-old to start a podcast with myself, just to talk about mother-daughter relationships and our life through the years, as she has been my ride or die through so much. Do you have any advice? Just a regular mum thinking of starting something that I think would be a hit. Love you both.
Yeah, good idea. Really good idea. But it doesn't have to be a podcast. Start with a conversation, really get to understand each other. And I can think of nothing better to do than, particularly at that stage of a 17-year-old young woman, and chatting with a mum who's already gone through this whole thing of life. And, just to understand that the power, the only hope for me in the world is that women, somehow or other, manage to get back in charge of it, because at the beginning, when we started to become civilization, the women were in charge. It was matriarchal. And then it all went a bit wrong and the guys have got hold of it. And as we know, not necessarily they may be good at football, they may be doing all sorts of stuff, which, all that, right? But, there's certain things where, going away, don't leave them there and expect to come back and find the house is all in order, right? Because I can't do that. So to me, if you've got a woman, a mature woman and a 17-year-old woman, the more they talk, the more they understand about each where the other one's coming from, the more chance we've got of this world gradually getting sorted out. That's my opinion.
Nice. Hi all, my partner's recently started having a kickabout at work during a lunch hour. They often have matches, 8v8, etc. However, sometimes it could be as little as 3v3. The group ages range from early 20s to late 50s. It's not even Sunday league level. However, me and my partner took the kids for a lovely walk in the local woods this weekend, and my partner refused to go on the rope swing hanging from a tree as she didn't want to get injured and have to miss the football. It was a fucking rope swing. It's not that high off the ground. Abbey, is there anything ridiculous Pete refused to do or join in with due to football, or maybe more recently his tennis career? I'm not talking skiing or bungee jumping. We love the pod and I know she'll be listening in the gym.
Well, the only thing you won't do, which I'd love you to do, is get on the horses.
Yeah, no. Not for me. It's not for me.
His feet touching the floor.
No, it's not.
He doesn't like them.
Like the thing is, like, I've been on 4 horses in my life and thrown off 3 times.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, like I think when I walk into the facility of a horse, it looks at me and goes, "No way, is that thing on me?"
Yeah.
I mean, Frank Skinner said it. He was talking about me once when going into a tackle with me. It's like, throwing a bicycle at someone.
Yeah.
A lot of pointy edges. It's difficult. It's not all great. So I think a horse sees
A
me.
bike on a horse.
I think it's I think a horse sees me that way.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Also, if you don't feel, I don't feel particularly comfortable around horses.
No.
Oh, God,
and so
I do.
they feel it, don't they? They're incredibly perceptive animals,
so.
and so they're getting a weird vibe. You're giving the weird vibe off, and then it's a disaster.
When I go to the stables, they all walk behind me. It's
Right,
like, it's
there you go.
bizarre.
The way
It's
they feel
weirdest
it.
They
thing.
sense it.
They won't
Literally.
be used to seeing a two-legged person as tall as you.
Exactly
That'll
right.
be something to do with it. Because they don't, you know, they...
Two-legged.
Like,
No, 100%,
what's
no.
this?
I
What's
totally
this
get it.
coming towards us? It's bigger than me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like them that height, right? I don't like them that height.
No. Who does, eh?
I do.
She does, thankfully.
6'5" minimum.
Okay. Please keep me anonymous. These are always good, these ones.
Yeah.
I've got a domestic dilemma that's been going on for so long it deserves its own Netflix series. I'm 46, my partner's 49. We've been together for 23 years. We've got 3 wonderful kids, 22, 18, and our little one who's 8. Life is busy, noisy, and mostly brilliant. But the battleground, without fail, is bedtime. When our youngest was born, she joined us in bed. Fine, I thought a few sleepless nights, maybe a couple of years tops. Except that phase lasted a full 5 years. Eventually I cracked, said enough's enough. She's going in her own room. Parenting win, should have been. Wrong, because my partner promptly moved in with her. and she's been there ever since. In a single bed. That was 3 years ago.
I get that though.
So now,
I love sleeping with my kids.
Yeah, so do I, but not for 3 years every night with your own setup. So now I'm in this bizarre setup. They're crammed into a single, like two...
Should we swap? Is that the question?
like 2 penguins clinging to the same iceberg, while I've got the king size all to myself. I stretch out like a starfish, hog the duvet. I roll from one side to the other. I live like royalty. And I won't lie, it's glorious. Here's the big question. Am I an arsehole for not swapping? Or should I nobly hand over the king size and squeeze myself into the single and let them spread out? Or do I keep stum and carry on enjoying the best sleep I've had in decades?
I'd definitely go with that choice. Without a shadow of a doubt.
I mean, that's unbelievable. I genuinely thought he was going to say, I'm gutted. She's out the bed, but he's gone, no, I'm living the dream.
No. I'll tell you what, I've been basically on my own for over the last 6 years, and I could not get used to sleeping with anybody.
Really?
Do you sleep with an animal?
Oh God, no! Oh no!
He doesn't really like animals.
What kind of animal?
I do like them, but
Like a cat.
Oh no, not having a cat. Oh no! Oh no!
See, my cat literally sleeps on my head. She just...
I know people that...
Not by choice. I would prefer her not to be in there, but she that's the way she just sleeps.
Yeah, she
My
does,
dad,
she
if he
really
comes to the house, he thinks it's revolting that there's an animal upstairs or in the kitchen or...
Yeah. No.
I know people that are happily married that sleep in different rooms.
Yeah. Yeah. And
So-
a lot of the reason they're happily married is because they sleep in different rooms.
Yeah.
So
I think you should swap beds.
What should he do?
Swap beds.
I don't have kids, so I don't really know. I don't know if I can. I don't know how much I can offer on this. Like,
Well, I mean, he's...
think forward and think how you would feel about it.
what if my partner, if my partner was off living in another room with the kid? Yeah. Well, I mean, I'd encourage her to come back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think
And
it's
maybe
missing
I'd
a
like
trick here.
leave the kid.
They're both
same.
saying there, like, should I swap or should I stay? How about you try and get her back in the bed?
I think that's the vibe there.
Exactly.
I think it's just going to make it worse. If all of a sudden your missus and your kid are in the main bed and you're in a single,
Into
like you're going to
princess
feel
bedroom
bad
or
about your
something?
life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Just go, when you, I don't know. I take it this is a fully grown man, right?
Well, obviously he's got like a
then in
20-year-old kid.
when he's walking into the single bed.
kids sleep in the bed.
No, 8.
No,
It's got super weird. Yeah.
no, they've got 3 kids, older ones, and the youngest is 8
Whatever. They're old enough to be
in their own beds.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, come on.
That's where they went wrong. They went wrong by getting
Allowing
involved
it.
in that and allowing it to happen in the first. He had this friend, and she had a 7-year-old boy sleeping in the bed with her, and he kept trying to breastfeed. Sitting in the living room,
Full
the
set of teeth.
7-year-old boy wants to cross over to his mum's shirt.
I know. So where can we play this Tetris game?
You can play it on the Ecover website. You just
Okay.
go on there, and you'll find you'll be hours later, and you'll just be stacking away and feeling like a kid. And then just imagine how efficient your dishwasher is going to work
Absolutely.
after this.
He'll be a changed man.
Yeah.
Please, God. What else have you got coming up, guys?
What have we got? I've got a TV series that's coming out shortly called Art Detectives, and
You wrote a book.
I wrote a book, so and then I'm starting to work towards publishing my first book of poems. So I've been I had my first poetry gig at the weekend, and just writing poems about things that really affect me and things that I feel need to be addressed, and observations. I wrote a load of poetry in the 80s.
Oh,
It just
lovely.
came flowing out of me, all about my life as a little boy, how things, affected me with my mum and dad being the way they were. And then now what's happening is I'm kind of revisiting some of those things, because it was a really like hard time when I was a little boy. But when I was 36 and looking back at that time, and now I'm 78 and looking back at that time and writing poems about them that have, as I've matured, I've going about things in a different way. But so that's where my head is at the moment, is writing poetry.
That's incredible.
Brilliant. Fantastic.
You write me poems.
I
don't
do,
you? They
yeah.
don't sound
Do ya?
that have got to be as fulfilling. It's like roses are red, violets are blue.
That's all right.
Don't
Come over
underestimate
here,
me.
'cause I love you or
I've got far
something
more.
like that.
I've got far more in my locker than that.
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
just dumb them down for her.
Bring it out. Such a twat.
Oh dear.
Really good.
Oh dear.
I'd like to read
We'll do
that
stuff
book.
together. We'll do stuff
I'd like to
together.
read that book.
Yeah, well, it won't be long. It's like people are pushing it because I write a lot about women, and
Okay.
they keep on thinking, why is he able to write from the point of view of a woman effectively? It's because the women in my life have really guided me
prominent,
along,
yeah.
have taken me along. I wrote an autobiography in 2011, and it was a big discussion going on between me and the publisher about what was I going to call it, and they gave me all these choices of titles. I said, no, that's not the title to my autobiography.
Yeah.
So what were you going to do? I said, it's Mummy's Boy,
Oh, yeah.
because that's what I am. That's what I was, Mummy's Boy. And it's the women in my life that have made the world go better for me.
That's
And
so nice.
I write things from a woman's point of view.
Nice.
I love that. I've got 2 mummies, boys.
Well, when
my
it's
voice.
published, we'll send you a copy of the book.
We
Thank
certainly
you.
will.
Thank you so
nice,
much.
Nice.
Well, thanks, guys.
Wicked.
That was
Thank you.
amazing.
Thanks so
Thank
much.
you.
You're doing great. Good luck.
Okay,
Very
nice one, guys.
good.
Thank you.